All right, everybody, today it's Friday, it's before Thanksgiving. We're not going to do much today, just work through our Delta Math assignments. There's one that's due tonight, and there's one that's due on Tuesday. All right, so we're going to just take it easy for these next few days. I'll work through a couple of the problems with you from each, or one or two of the problems from each set, and then we'll call it a day. All right, so we did the first Introduction to Inequalities assignment had something like this. It says, which of the following values are solutions to this inequality? So negative 8 minus 6x is less than or equal to 1. And it's giving us three choices, choice number 1, choice number 2, or choice number 3. And it could be any combination of those or none of them. So what we're going to do is test each of those numbers and see if it creates a true inequality. So with negative 8, I would say, is negative 8 minus 6 times negative 8, is that less than or equal to 1? Well, let's see, that's negative 8 minus 6 times minus 8 is plus 48. Negative times negative gives us that positive. Is that less than or equal to 1? Oh, no, that's positive 40, which is not less than or equal to 1, so it's not this one. That one, choice number 1, is not an option for us. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just try the next number. So let's try it with, instead of that negative 8, is 5 in the solution set. Now let's see, is negative 8 minus 6 times 5 is 30. Is that less than or equal to 1? Yes, it is. That's negative 38. That's less than 1. So 2, yes, is at least one of the solutions. And then we'll just try the same thing with the last value, which is negative 10. So is negative 10 a solution? That would be 8 minus 6 times minus 10 is plus 60. Is that less than or equal to 1? No, it's not. So the only option here is 2, so I'm going to choose this one, 2 only. And I submit my answer. I say yes, and I'm good. Okay, so it could be one of them, it could be none of them, it could be all of them, it could be 2 of them. Just test each one and see if it's true or not true, and that's how we do those problems. Okay, the second type of problem is solving these inequalities, including that huge step that we learned yesterday. So let's watch what happens here. We're solving 25 minus 2x is greater than or equal to 15. So to solve that, I would subtract 25 from both sides. That gives me negative 2x is greater than or equal to negative 10. And I'll divide by negative 2. That would give me x is, and on the right I have 5, and here's what I have to remember. Because I divided by a negative number, I need to flip the direction of that inequality, and this becomes x is less than or equal to 5. So I'm going to type there, in that box, I will type x, and they give me the option up here. They give me, in these boxes, less than or equal to 5. And then on the number line, I'm going to find 5. And because it's less than, I'm going to drag all the way to the end of the number line. And I need a less than or equal to. And again, if I wanted just a less than, I would touch that. I can toggle back and forth between closed circle and open circle. All right, I don't know what just happened at the end of that last problem, but you get the idea. The last thing we're going to do is just a harder version of these problems. We need to get 5 of them right, so we're just going to go slowly and deliberately through these problems. And these are like practicing the equations that we just had a test on, except we have to watch that inequality sign. So we have this big long inequality. First thing I'm going to do, as I always have to, is if it's possible, I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4 minus 6n minus 3 is greater than minus 4n minus 4 minus 7. My next step after that is on the left side and the right side. I'm going to combine any like terms that I have. So on the left side, my like terms are this 4 and that minus 3. 4 minus 3 would give me 1 minus 6n is greater than minus 4n, doesn't have a like term on the right, and minus 4 minus 7 is minus 11. So I've simplified this inequality quite a bit by distributing and combining like terms. I'm down to just these 4 steps. So now what I want to do is I want to plan ahead a little bit. I'm going to move the variable first, and I'm going to choose to move I think I will move the 6n first. So I'm planning ahead so that the coefficient of my variable ends up being positive. I don't have to do it that way, but it's going to make our end game a little bit easier. Minus 6n plus 6n goes away. That leaves me with 1 is greater than. Minus 4n plus 6n is 2n. Minus 11. And again, each step down this gets a little bit easier. Next thing I'll do is add 11 to both sides. I get 12 is greater than 2n. And then my last step will be, almost last step, divide by that 2, divide by the 2. Now what I end up with is 6 is greater than n, but remember what I told you, I always want you to write the variable on the left. So let's flip that around. That's saying n, and 6 over here, n is less than 6. Okay? These two things, again, say the same thing, but this one is much easier for us to kind of visualize. All right, so they've given me n. The is less than is already there, although if it was another symbol, I click on that little down arrow, and I can scroll and find the right symbol. N is less than, and I want 6. And I submit my answer. I don't have to graph these, just solve, and I got that right. Okay, so those 3 sections due on Tuesday night, and that's about all we're going to do. If you're all done Monday and Tuesday, we can come in and maybe have a little fun instead of working real hard. If we're not done and you want to work on them in class on Tuesday, I'm okay with that. Monday and Tuesday, I'm okay with that as well. All right, I'll see you Alpha Kids on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.